Hi everyone, I'm Terry Ann. I wanted to let you know that we're going to waiting for a few more students to sign on, and we'll probably start in about 5 minutes or so. As you're coming on, if you want to go to our chat box and let us know what high school you go to and what your major is, and also let us know if your family is joining us too today, because we do have a parent of a current student on our panel. Hi Alicia, thanks for joining us. Hi Brendan. Hi Rayson, you go to Mililani and majoring in aerospace. Is your family with us today? Hi Brendan, you go to St. Louis, majoring in biochem. And Rayson, your mom and you were there, great. Let us know other students what school you're at, what your major is, and if your family's joining us today. Hi Ethan, thanks for coming. Hi Jake. Hi Kalei and Kieran. Hi Maricos, good to see you. You go to Castle High School majoring in biology, and it's just you, but that's great. So you can share with your information with your family later. Hi Liam. Hi Kira. Anyone else want to add that what school you go to and what you're majoring in, and if your family is joining you? Timmy goes to Iolani and majoring in electrical engineering. Thanks. Liam goes to Kaiser and majors in material engineering. Well, Alicia, Roosevelt, architectural engineering. Kieran, Island School, all right, and marine science. Family is not joining you, but that's okay. You can share the information with them. Hi, Ethan. St. Louis, electrical engineering, and parents are there with you. Jake, go to Punahou, majoring in bioengineering, and your family is with you. This is amazing. This is great and exciting. Hey, Logan, I see you logged in. Good to see you. Lila goes to Waikea, environmental science, and your dad's there. Nice. Tanya, you go to Mililani and majoring in architectural engineering. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. Maui High, plan to major in civil engineering. Anyone else want to add? Like I see Malia, Logan. Nice to see all of you. Sydney, Timmy. Let us know what high school you go to and in the chat box and what you plan to major in. We have a nice number of students, but I haven't heard from all of you yet. Join us. Let us know what major, what Logan from Kaiser planning to major in civil engineering. Hi, Asha. If you want to add what high school you go to, Malia from Punahou planning to major in environmental management. Great. Kira from Kapa'a, majoring in environmental management and protection. Anyone else want to let us know what high school you're in and what major? Sydney from Kapa'a as well, environmental management and protection. Anyone else want to let us know? So you might see your classmates here. You might meet new friends. Asha from Kapa'a, another Kapa'a student. I'm so glad that you guys are all able to make it. She's majoring in business administration. Anyone else? I love that Kapa'a, you all came in together, or you posted at the same time. I know there's others out there that haven't added here, so please feel free to add. Your high school and your major. Hi, Emma, thanks for joining us. And Ethan as well. Hi, Jake and Caitlin. If you guys want to let us know what high school you're attending and what your major is, and if your parents are joining or other family members, that would be great as well. Okay. Everyone ready? We're gonna start our program now. Aloha, my name is Teria Matsuda and I'm Cal Poly's Regional Admissions Manager for Hawaii. I may have met some of you at your high schools, at college fairs, at coffee chats, and I hope to meet all of you very soon in person as well again, or for the first time. I am from Oahu and I'm currently based on Oahu. And my first introduction to Cal Poly was from my neighbor who graduated in the 50s, and he always talked about his experiences in San Luis Obispo and Cal Poly. The Hawaii Club was created while he was there and attending, and he was one of the first members, or at least that's what he told me. The stories from my neighbor and our learning by doing philosophy is what drew my interest to Cal Poly, and I joined the admissions office about a year and a half ago. In addition to the school of Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo feels very similar to where I grew up on Oahu, where several beaches are about 10 minutes away and our campus is right next to the mountains. Just like in Hawaii, where the ocean is on one side and the mountains are on the other. So it gives it a very similar feel to me of being in San Luis Obispo. I would like to welcome all of you, our newly admitted students and families. We understand that this is a very tough and scary time for many students and families in our state, nation, and world with the coronavirus pandemic. First and foremost, we hope you and your families are safe and healthy. Our admissions team and the Cal Poly campus want you to know we're here to support you and provide you resources we can during these uncertain times. That is why we created this virtual welcome reception designed just for you. We usually host this event on Oahu, and although we're not able to meet in person at this time, I'm so excited that this year we're able to have students from the different islands and areas of Oahu to join us. So this is an amazing experience for all of us. Congratulations, you should be so proud of your accomplishment. You worked so hard to get here and your hard work has paid off. Cal Poly is a very selective university, and this year we had 52,406 full-time freshmen who applied and 15,800 who were selected, which comes out to about a 30% acceptance rate. What an amazing achievement for you. We also want to take a moment to honor and thank the families that have joined us tonight for all the love and support that you've shown your students throughout the years and help them achieve their academic success. We know family support is so important, and we are so happy you're here to learn more about Cal Poly as well. As we begin the more formal portion of this event, I just want to do some little reminders. Please mute your computers and your mics. Feel free, I love to see pictures of people. Feel free to turn on your cameras if you would like, or turn off your cameras if you feel more comfortable. If you want to see your classmates and your friends, maybe you want to keep the cameras on, it's totally up to you. The campus resources links and documents are in the chat box. So those have been uploaded there now. So feel free to click on the links. We'll also repost them at the end of the event as well as email them to you. Throughout the presentation, feel free to ask questions via the chat box. My fellow amazing admissions colleagues are on standby to answer questions in the chat box, and we will also be addressing some of your questions during our Q&A session. Although we're not able to meet in person at this time, we want to give students and families the opportunity to learn a little bit about Cal Poly and to get your questions and concerns addressed. You probably applied because you see the strengths of Cal Poly academics and the value of starting in your chosen major on day one. As you're considering what it really means to spend the next few years of your life with us and what a degree will help you to achieve, we have a few Cal Poly proud individuals here with us today. They will all have a chance to speak about their ties to Cal Poly. I want to start off by letting you know about San Luis Obispo a little bit. It is located in the beautiful central coast of California, right between San Francisco and LA, about 4 hours from either city. We're located in a college town where a lot of activities are geared toward the students. We're going to be showing a video which will highlight San Luis Obispo, Cal Poly, and give you a sneak peek of where you could call home for the next 4 years.
How you start each new day says a lot about you. At Cal Poly, we begin as we always have, by putting knowledge into action. We call it Learn by Doing. And for more than a century, we've made this idea the center of everything we do. We believe that experience is part of the curriculum. We don't see any difference between education and the real world. We know that it's the best way to learn and keep learning for the rest of our lives. So when we begin our day, we dive right in, head first and hands on, because we're not satisfied to sit on the sidelines of our own education. And we know that if we want to make an impact on our world tomorrow, we have to put in the work today. If at first we don't succeed, we rework, rearrange, reimagine, redesign, rethink, rebuild, and refuse to give up. Because our state, our nation, and our world need us to be ready from day one, to take what we learn by doing and use it to help build a brighter future. How you start each day says a lot about you. How you spend your day says even more about how you'll start your career and how you'll live your life. Because it's one thing to be ready one day, and it's quite another to be ready day one.
Every time I watch that video, I'm always so inspired and excited about Cal Poly. I've seen it like a million times. So I hope that you were too. If you notice the girl on the surfboard, she is from Hawaii. Some of you may know her. Her name is Marissa Miller. So she's one of our current students at Cal Poly now. Now I'd like to introduce you to our amazing Cal Poly panelists. Each person would give you an introduction to who they are, how they're connected to Cal Poly, and will also share with you about Cal Poly academics, student life, and important resources for newly admitted students. I'm excited to introduce our first speaker, Amanda Lay, a third-year student from Hawaii.
Hi, yes, my name is Amanda Lay. I'm a third-year biochemistry major. I graduated Kaiser High School in 2017. I'm currently the Hawaii community at Cal Poly. I'm also the vice president of Lions Club. I'm for Cal Poly Swim Club for 2 years. So at Cal Poly, we learn by doing, and as a biochemistry major, how I learn by doing, I graduated in the biochemistry department, and I'm also a learning assistant, which is like a teacher's assistant, basically. And I really like how
Hi, everyone. As we let Amanda kind of get her computer set up a little bit better, let's head over to our next panelist, and then we'll come back to Amanda. Our next speaker is Dr. Keith Humphreys, Vice President of Student Affairs.
Thank you, Terry Ann. Aloha, everybody, and congratulations to all of the students and families on your admission to Cal Poly. It is absolutely something to be proud of. Like Terry Ann said, my name is Keith Humphrey. I'm Vice President for Student Affairs. My pronouns are he, his, him. My role is to make sure that the quality of your out-of-class experience matches the quality of your in-class experience, and I'll tell you a little bit more about how we do that. But I wanted to let you know, I came to Cal Poly 8 years ago because of the students. I absolutely fell in love with these fantastic individuals that make our campus come to life every day. Some of the things that impressed me from the very first day were their strong connections with the faculty, which is really the center of Learn by Doing. The 950 students who volunteer their time every year to be orientation leaders. The 50% of our students who do community service throughout San Luis Obispo. And the outcome of 93% of them who are working directly in their field after graduation, which is a true testament to the quality of the academic experience. It's that strength of community that drew me there, and that's really something that's challenging all of us right now. It's a really interesting word because when we think about community, we often think about the physical place where we come together, our city, our town, or in our place, our beautiful campus in San Luis Obispo. But this is a really challenging moment because our community has not been physically together in one big family for some time. But what we have found and experienced in the past few weeks since we've been apart, and what we will experience this quarter when we're not together, is that the strength of our community is not made up by the place where we are together. It is really made up of the people that make Cal Poly strong. Our students are coming out in droves to build virtual activities, to sustain their clubs and organizations, partner with their faculty to help transition to online learning, and sharing ideas of how we can sustain our community from a distance. In true Learn by Doing fashion, they're working to keep Cal Poly moving forward no matter where they are in the world, and we are excited for the day when we can be back together in San Luis Obispo. Like I said, my role and my team's role is to make sure that the quality of your out-of-class experience matches the quality of your in-class experience. And you'll hear from one of our amazing faculty members in just a short while. And that's really our role, to help you achieve your personal and professional success. We do that by helping you make connections throughout campus. That will start with our amazing orientation program, our world famous and #1 ranked WOW program, Week of Welcome. All of our students will live in the residence halls their first year, and many of you your second year. The center of our community is our residential community, and you've seen some pictures of some of our beautiful new residence halls. One of them is named Yaki Tutu, which means community in the native Chumash language of the first people of San Luis Obispo County. And we'll also do that by connecting you strategically to your academic advisors throughout the first year, those individuals who will be those key relationship guides for you throughout your academic career. We work hard on making sure that we get our students involved. All of you are deeply involved in high school, and we absolutely expect that will continue at Cal Poly, because your involvement is what makes our community strong. There are over 400 clubs that our students have created, and in the past year, they've added about 80 clubs to the total number of clubs at Cal Poly. No matter what you do, there is something there for you, and if it's not there, you can create it for yourself and for your peers. There's plenty of service learning opportunities, both inside the classroom, as well as service to our community. And I mentioned that 50% of our students deeply engage in that. Fraternities and sororities may be something for you, and about 20% of our students engage in Greek life, and almost half of our students engage in intramurals over the course of their career at Cal Poly. Another way that we really help make sure you achieve your personal and professional success is around your health and well-being. That's always been a priority for us at Cal Poly, and that's never been a greater priority for us than it is right now. And it's of course the main reason why we're all not together. But I want to assure you and your families that we have a full health center on campus that is staffed by fully licensed MDs, registered nurses, physician's assistants. We have our own lab and pharmacy and x-ray facilities, as well as 20 counselors there to support our mental health and make sure that we're not only well inside our bodies, but inside our ways of making meaning and approaching the world. We know that we can't have good learn by doing. We cannot excel in making connections and building relationships, and you cannot be involved if you're not focused on your health and well-being. So it's absolutely critical and something that we pay very close attention to every day on our campus. We also help our students make sure that they're having a quality experience by putting an extreme amount of emphasis on our campus climate and work around diversity, equity, and inclusion. Many would argue, and I would agree, that this is the critical work of our society and this moment in time. And at Cal Poly, we work really hard to make sure that every person feels welcome in our campus, no matter the identities that they hold and bring and change when they're with us at Cal Poly. We have vibrant cultural centers, and we're adding new ones all the time to make sure that our students have places where they can connect by identity, learn and explore who they are, and grow as individuals. And finally, we really are focused on students' long-term success at Cal Poly. That includes providing a robust offering of academic support. We believe in academic support. College, you've heard this before, but you will come to quickly find out that college is different than high school, and most of our students excelled academically in high school, and we want to make sure that that continues for you when you're at Cal Poly. So we provide the resources and support for our students to make sure that that continues, and that continues all the way through career services, where you will have a advisor in your career college and major who is an expert in your field of study and how that translates to potential career and graduate school opportunities, as well as you will have an advisor who you will meet with as a first-year student, because at Cal Poly we believe that career planning starts right from the very first day. So we take it very seriously, and we get our students deeply engaged in all aspects of career services and career and life planning. So those are just some of the highlight ways that we make sure that you have a fantastic experience both inside and outside the classroom. I want to congratulate you again on your admission to Cal Poly. It is quite an achievement, and I look forward to fielding some of your questions later in this evening's program. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Dr. Humphrey. I wanted to now introduce to you another current student, Emily Trong, who's a first-year student from Hawaii.
Hi everyone, my name is Emily Trong. I'm a Sacred Hearts Academy alum, and currently I'm a first-year computer science student at Cal Poly. First off, I would like to congratulate you all on your acceptance to Cal Poly. This is not an easy feat, and you should be very proud of your accomplishments. I remember being in your shoes last year trying to decide what school I wanted to go to, having the whole East Coast, West Coast debate. And it was a bit stressful, but just know in the end, you will be able to find your match. For me, I decided to attend Cal Poly because of their hands-on curriculum. I know you may have already heard, but Cal Poly really is well known for their learn by doing motto. A lot of our classes will have labs and experiments or be entirely project-based to help their students understand the ideas and concepts that are taught. Especially for me as a computer science major, a lot of the lectures are really theory heavy. So we will have like a lab component attached to it, which helps students, put what we learned in the lectures into practice. And this is also extra time that we have with professors to ask them questions and better understand the tougher concepts. Cal Poly's curriculum is in line with industry standards, meaning that the skills that you learn in class are exactly what companies are looking for in hirees. It is not uncommon to hear computer science students landing full-time offers from pretty decent companies like Apple, Google, or Amazon. And other majors are doing this as well. When I talked to like my aerospace engineering friends, they told me that within their first 3 months at Cal Poly, their first quarter, they built and launched a model rocket on Parents Weekend. And my computer engineering friends, they built and coded an Arduino robot that is capable of like dancing to music and can hold an egg without cracking it. For me, as a computer science major, I was in a cybersecurity course. And so like within from day one, we learned how to like hack, how to do phishing, how to ciphers, cryptocurrency, and just a bit of coding as well. And while I can go on and on about computer science, I know many of you are wondering what it is like to be a first-year student. And to sum it up, it's been pretty good so far. As a first-year student, you are required to live in the dorms on campus, and there's many to choose from. It's usually based off a learning community. For me, I decided to live in the engineering dorms, and I had my roommates be randomly chosen for me. Out of all the things that I've experienced as a first-year student, I'd say that the best part would be WOW Week or Week of Welcome. This is Cal Poly's version of orientation. Basically, this is a student-led, student-run orientation program. So unlike other schools that has like a lot of presentations and like speeches, Cal Poly's orientation is student-led. And so you're placed in a group of students led by 2 upperclassmen, and you just go out and about in San Luis Obispo. For our group, we went to Pismo Beach, we went to Avila, we went hiking, we went to a farmer's market, we went to movies, we just did a lot of things, and it's really fun. Your WOW group is like your first group of friends, and it really helped with transitioning from being in high school to being in college, because I was able to meet like a lot of new people and just experience a lot of new things. Besides WOW Week, joining clubs is another popular thing students do. Cal Poly has many clubs for many different interests. Anything you're even remotely interested in, there's probably already a club for it. There's hiking clubs, hammocking clubs, dog clubs, League of Legends club, anime clubs. They have Chinese Student Association, Japanese Student Association, Koi Club. There's also more STEM-related teams like Poly Satellite, Poly Racing, and Engineering Without Borders. I am in the Cal Poly Society of Women Engineers, as well as Women in Software and Hardware. And these clubs may sound very STEM heavy, but we do a lot of like social activities like ice cream nights, pizza parties, having company visits, study sessions, etc. I'm also in Cal Poly's Hyperloop team, which competes in Tesla's SpaceX Hyperloop competition. And these competition teams really embodies Cal Poly's Learn by Doing motto and allows students to apply what they learned in class to real life, especially because this is an interdisciplinary club, meaning that I work with like electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, and aerospace engineers. It is similar to what I am expected to do at a company. And this just gives me more practice and experience, especially as a first-year student. These clubs help me meet new people and learn new things with people who have the same interests as me. Cal Poly is a great school that really prides on their Learn by Doing curriculum. And so far, I've been very happy with my choice. Again, congratulations on your acceptance and good luck on your decisions. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. So we're going to try to get back to Amanda now and have her present and continue her area.
Hello again. Sorry about that. I don't know where I left off, so I'm going to talk about what I do. So I am a undergraduate researcher and a learning assistant, or a TA, and that's all done in Baker Science and Math in this building in my background. So what I do for research in the biochemistry department, I actually extract and characterize a toxin in a poisonous mushroom. And I've been doing research for about half a year right now, and it's very interesting. It's definitely Learn by Doing. And I really like Cal Poly because they really try to enforce active learning. And I also want to talk about Huya Hawaii. I'm the president of Huya Hawaii, which is like a club, a social and cultural club that like tries to really bring the Hawaii community together. And right now we're a really small club, but we're really tight knit. And I encourage all of you all to come out to our first meeting in the fall. We have a booth set up where during WOW Showcase, where all like 300 or hundreds of the clubs showcase their club. And if you have any questions, we have a lot of members who are upperclassmen, but also freshmen, sophomore who can help you out. So what else do we do? We do a lot of cooking. We make spam musubi, spam fried rice, butter mochi, all that good stuff. And we also sell shave ice during festivals like Culture Fest, where all of the cultural clubs showcase their culture, like Korean American Student Association or Japanese Student Association, all those different kind of clubs. Not only do we sell shave ice, but we also have a hula dance group. They are fairly new. They performed actually the first time this past fall 2019, and they did an amazing job. So if you're into dancing hula or Polynesian or Polynesian dashing, Tahitian, we have 2 hula instructors. One is a computer science major and one is a graphic communications major. So they're really good at helping people out with dancing. And we also do a lot of hiking. We usually go more in the spring, but now that spring quarter is canceled, it's okay. There's Serenity Swing and a lot of beautiful hikes. There's also an event like WOW, or Week of Welcome. It's called Polycultural Weekend, or PCW for short. It's basically like an orientation program for prospective minority students, and to make them feel welcome at home, because there is a community for everyone at Cal Poly. And so that was supposed to be held on April 3rd, 4th, and 5th, but it got canceled. And I think that it's a really good opportunity to get a feel for what Cal Poly is like outside, like with all of the different kinds of communities. And if you want to learn more about Polycultural Weekend, they have an Instagram at Polycultural Weekend. And one of the main events, I guess, that Hawaii Club members look forward to is our end of the year potluck. It's where everyone comes together and brings their own kind of food. And so last year we had someone bring kalua pork and I forgot what it's called, but there was this Korean fried noodle, and there was shave ice, of course, and spam musubi and a bunch of good food. And as the Cal Poly Huia Hawaii president, I really want to expand on the group and invite you guys to come in. And my favorite thing about Cal Poly in general is the people and the community. So that's kind of why when I visited, I chose Cal Poly. Although Cal Poly's community is not like a Hawaii community, I got to experience what it was like outside of Hawaii with very welcoming and nice people. And also the rec center is one of my favorite places to go to. It's new and beautiful, and you can always like get in a good workout there. And I do have plans for the future after I graduate because I have about a year left. I am planning to become an optometrist and eye doctor and go to optometry school afterwards. And if you have any other questions, let me know in the chat box. Thank you.
Thanks, Amanda. So next up, we're going to have Dr. Matt Ritter, biology professor, and who's going to be sharing his connection to Cal Poly.
Hi, everyone. Like Terry said, I'm a biology professor. I've been at Cal Poly for 17 years now in the biology department, and I'm a plant biologist and a field ecologist. I worked on Kauai, lived on Kauai on and off since 2006. And then before that, I worked at the National Tropical Botanical Garden there. And I have a deep connection to working on the islands, and I'll explain that, and bringing Cal Poly students there and so on, and I'll get into that. But I'll begin by telling you that I'm completely biased because I love Cal Poly, and it's a wonderful university, and I'm going to explain to you why I think that's the case. I had two brothers that went here to Cal Poly, and I was an undergrad at UC Santa Barbara. A side story, Jack Johnson was my roommate at UC Santa Barbara, and still am connected with him. He lives on the North Shore. And when I got the job here at Cal Poly, I had experience at UC Santa Barbara. I got a PhD at UC San Diego, and the quality of the education that we're giving students at Cal Poly compared to those UCs is so high. And the connection that I have with my students and the learn by doing experiences that we have together is amazing. And learn by doing, you're going to hear that a lot when you hear anything about Cal Poly. And it's not just a motto, it's actually how we approach education. It's completely different than I think what happens at a lot of different universities. And in the biology department where I work, there's 30 of us professors in the biology department. Every single one of those professors has between 5 and 10 graduate students and up to 100 undergraduates over the period of a year doing some kind of research with them. And keeping with that learn by doing tradition, our undergraduates are actually required to participate in research in the biology department and complete a senior project in order to graduate. And that's the case across the College of Science and Math and the College of Agriculture. And students in the biology department, they have this amazing opportunity to participate in real world faculty directed research, in which you're in a lab group working with faculty doing all kinds of interesting things. We have research projects going on in field ecology, management of natural resources, all the way to things like molecular biology and biotechnology. And so it's a diversity of different research projects. As you heard from Emily and Amanda, they have so much going on, and it's typical of Cal Poly students. They're doing one thing after another, and involving themselves in all kinds of activities, but also involving themselves in research outside the classroom. Students in biology, they work on projects funded by the U.S. Forest Service, other state and federal agencies, including the National Science Foundation, Office of Naval Research, and they get to participate in hands-on research. And I think it's a very exciting and rewarding part of the education at Cal Poly. And for me, it's exciting because I get to train the next generation of scientists, and I get to train them in real world situations on the edge of the frontier of knowledge. And as an example of that, we currently have a grant through the U.S. Forest Service to work on Hawaii. And what we do is, and some of you know this, I don't know if you know or not, but there are a number of problems that Hawaii has with weedy plants, and we're very interested in that. What non-native weedy plants are taking over different parts of the island. And I work with Brian Yamamoto at Kauai Community College, and spent a lot of time in Kapa'a. It's good to see some people from Kapa'a here. And on Kauai, there are areas that are being taken over by some weedy plants. And I took students there last summer. I took students again the previous summer, and we collect plants. We try to figure out what is growing, where it's growing, and help to inform policies about what is planted, what is recommended for planting. And students get this amazing experience of being able to learn new things about Hawaii, but about other places in California where we do research. And there's a number of students, I can't see the chat window, but there's a number of students in ENVM, or environmental protection and management, that are on the line here. And that's an awesome major. It's a major that, as a professor in the biology department, we service that major a lot with basic biology classes. For instance, if and when you come to Cal Poly as an ENVM, environmental protection and management major, you're actually gonna have a plant biology class from me before you go on to do another major classes. And so a lot of projects going on, a lot of interesting things. And that's, I think, what makes Cal Poly special, is that you get to be involved with faculty day in and day out in a research experience. And I teach field classes as well. These are classes in which we take students out into the environment throughout California to look at plants. And we have 3,000 acres to the north of us in Santa Cruz County, a place called Swanton Pacific Ranch, where students get to study forests and forestry and how the native environment works there. I currently have undergraduate and graduate TAs that help with my classes. And ultimately, and I'll wrap up here, but I'll answer some questions if you have them. I think that we know what correlates with a good college experience and internships and a quality job after college. A lot of that is connections with faculty. And that's what we do at Cal Poly. You're going to get connected to faculty in a way you wouldn't at other universities. And so congratulations for being accepted. It is an honor, and you should be very proud of yourself. It's a difficult place to get into, and it's a wonderful university. So I'll answer any questions when we come to that.
Thank you, Dr. Ritter. Now we have a wonderful parent of a current student from Hawaii who is also a college counselor at HBA, Tara Gresby.
All right. Hey, everyone. So yeah, I am a parent. My daughter is in her last quarter. Yay. She's going to graduate after this quarter. And I have to say, my experience as a parent of my daughter, I'm just so proud that she went to Cal Poly. It was a good investment, a great investment for the education that she is receiving there. It's a really good value. And I just, as a parent, I just want to share some tips from, as a parent perspective. Some of the things that we were impressed with was just the whole moving in process. There's a lot of help once you arrive on campus. We were impressed that the soccer coach came and helped us take our daughter's things to her room. There's a lot of places nearby like Costco, Target, Walmart to get the things that you need. You can ship things from Amazon to get there before you arrive, and they'll hold it for you at the post office. So just little things like that to make the moving in process easier is all available for you there. I would suggest once you get there to go shopping first, because during that WOW week where the kids are going around, getting oriented to the location, you won't see them that week, parents. So go with them before that week, get everything you need, because by the end of the week, all the stores will be out of things. So then another thing, traveling to San Luis Obispo, since it is between LA and San Francisco, there's different ways you can get there. We found the easiest for our daughter was just to fly, get a connecting flight into San Luis Obispo. There's other ways you can go to through San Jose, but a lot of those flights are in the morning. So leaving Cal Poly, you have to get a hotel room once you get to San Jose. And there's like students that offer ride shares for like $20 to get you to San Jose. But if you know someone there and can stay with them in San Jose, that would be great. You can fly out of there. My daughter, she is, she started at Cal Poly as a landscape architect major, and her second year, she decided to switch her major. She switched to the fine arts department and graphic design. And at that point, I at least kind of thought, well, she could just come home to Hawaii for that major, because she went to Cal Poly because the architect program is highly respected. But she really wanted to stay, and she loved the school. And it turned out, even though this major wasn't the architect, because architecture is, I think we have an architect going to share with you, but that has a lot of work. It's an intense major, but even her graphic design program has been really hands-on, a lot of projects, a lot of challenges for her, and it's really developed her skills. She's had to present her work, make her portfolio, and it's given her extensive amount of work to have in her portfolio. So we're really glad she stayed there and is finishing up. Some of the things she got involved in while she was there, she's on the surf team. And through the surf team, it's a club sport there at Cal Poly. She's been able to travel down to San Diego, go to Santa Barbara, and as part of the surf team, they've done community service and fun activities together. She's also was involved in campus ministry some there with crew. And then another thing that they had when she started her first year was, I'm not sure what the program is called, but she was able to connect with someone in the community. They have a bunch of volunteers in the community that kind of take you under their wing. You can do it by things that you're interested in, like if you're interested in hiking or cooking. I think cooking was the one my daughter was interested in. So she would go out to for different meals with this person in the community, and just kind of helped her get assimilated her first year there. When we got there, we got her a bicycle. She found a bicycle on Craigslist, was able to get around, but she really was able to just use the bus system there, and she was able to get to downtown and go on hikes. She did get a car her second year because she does like to go to the beach a lot, being on the surf team, and it was just easier for her not to have to ask for people for rides to carry her surfboard and things like that. And through that, she was able to just even explore the area more, the outside areas. But I think the highlight of her experiences there have been just the awesome class work that she's done and exploring the different areas that Cal Poly has to offer. A lot of great concerts and music festivals that she's attended. Yeah, so overall, like, we're super happy that our daughter is attending Cal Poly and will be graduating soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Tara. And next, for our final speaker for today, is our alumnus, Chris Hong, who graduated in architecture.
Hello, everyone, and congratulations on your acceptance into Cal Poly. I graduated from Punahou several years ago and graduated from Cal Poly a while back as well. I started my career up in Seattle working for a national architecture firm, and I led the summer intern recruiting program. And while in Seattle, I also was a volunteer at both the University of Washington Architecture School and the University of Oregon Architecture School. I moved back home in 2011. I teach part-time at the University of Hawaii Architecture School and currently serve on the Cal Poly College of Architecture and Environmental Design Dean's Leadership Council. I also have a practice, small practice, 6 people, and my partner is actually also a Cal Poly grad. So I have a pretty good experience with several of the West Coast schools. Many of the other members of the Dean's Leadership Council are principals at several of the major architecture firms up and down the West Coast. And I want to just testify that the learn by doing is real. And that when compared to not only the other academic curriculums at the other schools, but also in the entry level category, the Cal Poly students by far are the ones that you see time and time again taking charge and immediately proving themselves worthy of management and upward mobility within the firms themselves. So when I was at Cal Poly, I sort of took it for granted and just said, well, this is just a great experience and this is just what architecture school is. And it wasn't until seeing and teaching at other universities and just seeing the comparison, not only on the overall school culture, but also the fact that Cal Poly's architecture professors are either current or past working professionals who have their architectural licenses, who have practiced for many years, and that bring that experience, that real world experience, and blend that into the forward thinking mindset of academia, gives you this combination that is hard to beat and hard to see at other schools. In comparison, here at the University of Hawaii, there's only a very small fraction of the faculty who actually have their architectural license. So that is definitely a heads up. So I would say in terms of not only being in charge of hiring summer interns for that job experience, within California, it is definitely a leg up to see Cal Poly on a resume. And we talk at our Dean's Leadership Council meetings all the time how it is each of the major firms are always constantly looking for Cal Poly grads. So that is always a plus for that. You know, I would say also the concern may be that while at least when I've talked to other high school students or other students, say at the University of Hawaii, and the question when choosing Cal Poly always comes with, well, is going to school in a small town like San Luis Obispo, where you don't have the typical starchitects or the natural professional connections, is that a hindrance in getting a job post-graduation? And what I would say is that the skill sets and the learn by doing is really what separates and really what enables the Cal Poly graduates to not only get a job, but to succeed once they are able to get the job. And really what the learn by doing is not, it sounds fun and it's great, all the programs that the other speakers were talking about, but really what it is this unstoppable mentality that Cal Poly students and graduates seem to have, that no matter what challenge is thrown in front of them, that they're going to figure it out. And oftentimes with the challenge we have in hiring in architecture firms is that new hires want to be told what to do, or they're waiting for instructions. And I think what we see with the Cal Poly students is that they're always eager to try, to learn, to seek, to discover, to innovate, and really push the boundaries. And that's really what we see in the professional field and what separates and really the value of what that learn by doing is. So that's, I guess, it for me on the professional side. Congratulations again to all of you.
Thanks, Chris. And thank you to our special Cal Poly panelists. We'd like to now open it up for questions. I see a lot of questions going on our chat box and chat group. So but I do have a few questions that I'll just throw it out to the panelists. And any one of you can definitely answer or take turns of as much as you want. So the first question is, how does Cal Poly compare to larger UCs and private schools on the mainland? Anyone want to?
You want me? I can answer that a bit. Terry, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Like I said, I do have some experience with that because I was an undergraduate at UC Santa Barbara. My undergraduate first year biology class at UC Santa Barbara had 800 students in it. Here at Cal Poly, I teach intro botany and intro biology to 35, sometimes more than that, sometimes 45 students, and I know all their names. I know all about them. I know I'm an advisor to them for the rest of their career, basically, and I get an incoming crop every time. And so it's a kind of connection to students that we have here at Cal Poly that doesn't exist at the larger UCs. Now, also another thing I should mention is that I said that I have graduate and undergraduate TAs. What happens here at Cal Poly with regards to TAs is much different than what happens at the UCs. At the UCs, many of the TAs actually teach sections. They teach study sessions, things like that. Here, when I say I have a TA, that's a student that's going along with me in class, doing it, helping me, working with me, interacting with the students. I teach all the classes. I actually, when I'm teaching class, I'm teaching the students, and the TAs aren't teaching it. So it's another real big difference between the UCs and Cal Poly. You know, I always tell students, UCs is a good place to go as a graduate student. It's not at Cal Poly is where you want to be an undergrad.
Anyone else want to add to that? If not, we're going to go to the next question. Are there study abroad opportunities? Any panelists want to answer?
I'll jump in. There are study abroad opportunities articulated in about, I think, either 114 or 118 different programs in just about every country around the world. Our students get fantastic opportunities to travel. Right now, they're all back home, and we look forward to them getting back out, practicing learn by doing all around the world. It's something that is easily done as long as students make a plan for it with their academic advisor to find out when's the best time to fit it into the curriculum. And some of our programs like architecture require students to study away in the fourth year. So it's a great opportunity and something a lot of our students take advantage of.
Yeah, to tie into that, I studied abroad in Denmark in my fourth year, and the great thing about it was that there was no issues with the credits that we're getting because it was aligned so perfectly with the overall curriculum. Like Keith mentioned, it flowed perfectly and it didn't interrupt graduation on time.
Thank you. Anyone else? So another question we have is it possible to get a minor outside my college? Any panelists?
I'm the faculty advisor for the biology minor program, and most everybody in the biology minor program is outside the college. So we have everybody from architecture to agriculture to computer science students getting biology minors. And a biology minor just gives you more flexibility in the future. You can take some biology classes, and that makes you a more attractive applicant for certain jobs. And so biology minor at Cal Poly involves taking 3 introductory classes and 2 or 3 upper division classes of your choosing.
Thank you. So these are for the students, how do you manage academics and getting involved? Amanda or Emily?
Okay, to manage academics and getting involved, I would say it's like, for me, I did it through time management. Joining clubs really does help you do that, because like the Society of Women Engineers and Women in Software and Hardware, they do have like little activities, study sessions, and company visits. So you can, you know, go to a study session, study for like a midterm or an upcoming quiz, and then you could go to another event with a company visit and like be more involved and like learn new things, I guess.
Amanda, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, to manage. So when you just want to get away from like school, what I usually do is I like join a lot of clubs. For example, Huia Hawaii. We sometimes study together, and I feel that studying in a group with people you're comfortable with, it really helps. Sometimes it could be like a break, but at the same time, it helps me focus, and like my friend is always there to keep me back on track.
Thanks. How about, maybe this is for Tara, how can parents stay connected with their students so far away? And I guess Amanda and Emily, you can answer as well too.
I think the first year is a little challenging, right? Because they're trying to be more independent, and you're just kind of like feeling them out on how much they want contact with you. So I think just being sensitive to allowing them to have their freedom, maybe making a regular check-in time once a week with them. But just, I think, encouraging them to try new things and to make decisions on their own and to grow, but always knowing that they are welcome and supported by you. We'll keep those communication lines open. They may make mistakes and do things that maybe you wouldn't do or choose. And just knowing, for them to know that you'll still accept them and support them in the midst of that, I think is important. And to just encourage them that, yeah, it's okay to fail or to make mistakes, but they can always bounce back from that.
Emily or Amanda, do you want to address how you, maybe Emily, because this is your first year?
Yeah, technology is really helpful. Usually I would FaceTime or Skype my parents like every now and then. Texting does help a lot, or phone calls. Usually my friends, and they do the same thing. They would set aside some time to talk to their parents. And if we're too busy like studying or going out, then they would follow up like following week or a couple days later.
Thanks. How about, the next question is, how safe is campus? If anyone wants to address that question.
I'll jump in and get us started, but I definitely want to make sure we hear from our students on this one. I think Cal Poly is a very safe campus community. Our campus is situated away from the downtown, but I grew up outside New York City, so it's not really a downtown to me. And so, but away from downtown, and really a little bit off of the normal travel path. So you really see folks on campus who belong on campus. We have the Cal Poly Police Department, who are full state of California police officers who patrol campus 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and respond to all sorts of student concerns as well as unusual behavior. And unusual behavior is pretty common on a university campus. It's supposed to be funny. And so they're great. They come in and out of the residence halls to talk with students, to make sure things are going well. In general, very low crime campus. Most of the crimes that we have are what we would call crimes of opportunity. And there are things like students leave their residence hall room doors open when they go down the hall, and they forget to close them. And sometimes things get taken by somebody else, and that's just wanting our students to practice good street smarts. It comes from a good place because students feel comfortable, and so they don't always lock their doors in San Luis Obispo, but we want them to make sure they're practicing those good street smarts when they're with us.
Anyone else want to chime in on safety?
I think, yeah, Keith is right. Cal Poly is definitely a pretty safe community, and it's one of the reasons why I think my dad wanted me to go there. And he is right about a lot of the students take it for granted, and they like leave their doors open, or like they don't lock their lockers at the and stuff like that. But I think that we should practice like safety and stuff like that. But overall, yeah, Cal Poly is a pretty safe community.
Okay, so the next question I have is, how do employers view a Cal Poly degree? I think, Chris, you might have touched upon it a little bit.
Yeah, so specifically for architecture, and especially in California, I mean, a Cal Poly degree is definitely worth a lot. As in other majors, especially, and having it apply back here in Hawaii, we're getting more and more Cal Poly grads, and which is great, but it's still not super well known in every aspect. But it is getting more and more prestige, especially here locally. But in California, for sure, on the mainland, West Coast, and architecture definitely carries a big weight to it.
Carrie Ann, maybe I can add to that. Career services is a part of my responsibility, and we know that we are a campus that is a destination of choice for all of the major companies and nonprofit organizations that are looking to hire our students. We have jam-packed career fairs. The Career Center is always busy with companies and nonprofit organizations coming to really seek and mine our talent. We actually, for many of our majors, have such competition for our students that we have what, for lack of a better word, like a signing day, where companies can't offer to a student until a certain day, and then students have a certain amount of time to evaluate all of their options. We know, and we saw in the last economic downturn, that companies chose to stay with Cal Poly. When they had to make choices about where they were going to recruit students, they stayed with our university because of the strength of our curriculum and what it means for students when they become professionals. And so we're absolutely confident in this economic downturn that is just starting, that companies are going to continue to stay with Cal Poly and seek our talent.
Thank you. Another question is, what are some traditions and what's school spirit like at Cal Poly? Students? Alumnus?
School spirit, I think we definitely do have school spirit, but it's different from like sports. Like we're not really, we don't have a lot of the students don't go to a lot of the athletic games. But when it comes to like, we have line dancing or like a rodeo, a lot of people, or there's this one game, the UCSB game versus Cal Poly soccer game. A lot of students come out to that, and it's a good time.
So to chime in, I can't comment on what student culture is now, but on the Dean's Leadership Council, we often talk about fundraising and school spirit. And from my time at Cal Poly, there was always sort of this reserved pride that we had, that almost we knew getting into Cal Poly was so challenging, and the school was so challenging, that our education was better than other schools. And so we didn't need to go around bragging about it per se, but when we went to competitions, we always expected to place well. And I think even within post-profession now, with the Dean's Leadership Council and having principals at multiple firms who are all Cal Poly grads, no one is really incredibly boastful about it. And so it stays with this very reserved pride that we all have. We're all Cal Poly proud, but it's not like you see a ton of people with a car full of Cal Poly stickers on it. It's more of we understand the value of what we got, and we understand that, again, that fearless courage in facing challenges, that we know we were prepped well, and because of the education that we got, the training that we got, that we are prepared to handle any challenges. So I don't know if that answers the question.
Thanks. I do want to ask this one question. I'm going to kind of put it in together because I think sometimes it might be helpful, but is there student support in case a student gets homesick? Actually, I'm going to do two separate questions. So what is the support services like, or what should a student do in order to kind of help them get over homesickness? Any panelists?
There's Hawaii Club, where we have a lot of people in the club who are from Hawaii. Even though we're really small right now, we are there for each other. And I met like one of my really good friends. She's also from Oahu, but I hadn't met her until Cal Poly, and she actually lives like 2 minutes away from me, which is really cool. And just having that group with me, it really helped a lot.
I would add that homesickness is very common among students, especially in your first year. I've seen 25 years of first year students come in, and it's normal, and I experienced it myself as a student. So the first thing that I would say is, when it happens, know that it's normal, no matter where you go. The second thing that I would say is that's why we have you live in a residence hall in a community with other folks. They're all going through some of the same things. We want you to build connection. You have an undergraduate student who's an RA who's there to help build community, help make events happen, bring you together with other people. And then it's to get connected with one of the over 400 clubs. And finally, if you really want to talk personally with somebody, you can walk in and see any one of our 20 counselors, do an intake appointment on the same day, and then schedule a full regular clinical counseling appointment so that you can develop that personal therapy relationship with somebody to help you manage it if that's what you want to do.
Thank you. And to wrap it up, for our final question for all of our panelists, please let us know what your favorite thing about Cal Poly is, or one piece of advice for these students making those final decisions. Anyone can jump in first.
Well, I said my favorite thing when I gave my talk, but it is our students. How they bring learn by doing to life inside and outside the classroom impresses me every day. I enjoy hanging out with them and talking with them, and right now spending a lot of time on Zoom with many of them. So for me, it's the students.
I'll say nearly the same thing that Keith said, is that except that I get to interact with the students all the time and go on trips with them, go to Hawaii with them, do research projects. That's my favorite part about Cal Poly.
My favorite thing about Cal Poly has to be the excellent education that it's provided in such a beautiful atmosphere, a beautiful city to live in.
I would say my favorite thing about Cal Poly would be the opportunities, because you can join clubs, you can do undergraduate research, and also having this knowing that you're from Cal Poly, companies will seek you out for internships, and there's just a lot that you can do at the school, and they really do set you up for the future.
I'll jump in. My favorite thing about my time at Cal Poly was just the collaborative competition. You know, we in the architecture school, we were like one large family that spanned not only just your class, but upperclassmen and lowerclassmen together. And you would stay up late just pushing each other to be better. And it wasn't, nothing was ever malicious. And it was always about pushing each other and always having each other's back, whether it was just help with homework, needing supplies, needing assistance, whatever it was, just the close-knit community. And that continues post-profession as well. I still maintain pretty good relationships with a lot of my classmates, even though we graduated several years ago.
I actually have a few things that I really like about Cal Poly. One is Hawaii Club. It's a really good community. You guys should all come out. And then two is the rec center. It's so nice. I'm there like all the time. And then three is the community and how friendly the professors are. As a first year when I came in, I was kind of scared to reach out and ask professors for help or like anyone in general. But as my time at Cal Poly was going, I realized how nice the professors were and everyone in general. So going into Cal Poly, I would say, don't be afraid to ask for help. Anyone, mainly the professors.
Thank you, everyone. Panelists, if you would like to share your contact information, your name and your email address, you can put that in the chat box so that our visitors can definitely take reach out to you in the future. But thank you all so much for joining us tonight for our special virtual Cal Poly welcome reception. We are so happy you're able to join us to learn more about our campus, academics, and student life. We hope all of our newly admitted students that joined us tonight are excited and ready to join the Cal Poly Mustang Ohana. Some final reminders is check your portal and student checklist regularly. Check your email for additional resources, including additional virtual events. And some important dates and deadlines. May 1st is a deadline to accept your spot at Cal Poly. So you would do that on your Cal Poly portal. Housing and orientation registration deadline is May 7th. Orientation or slow days will be held during July, August, and September. New student move-in dates are September 11th and 12th. WOW or Week of Welcome will be on September 13th to 20th. And the first day of class in the fall is September 17th. For any questions that we didn't get to, please email me your questions and I'll be happy to address them. And check the chat box to find our panelists' contact information. And please feel free to use the resources from the chat box and we'll also email them to you. Congratulations on your accomplishment. Mahalo nui loa for coming and I hope you and your family stay healthy and safe. We will stay on a bit longer so you can finish copying any contact information or clicking on any of those attachments. Thank you.